Most men over 50 are chasing workouts, not results. They jump from one routine to the next, not realizing that it's not just about lifting heavier or doing more. It's about understanding how everything works together. Your energy systems, your recovery, your hormones, and most importantly, your overall foundation. Because if your training isn't built on a solid foundation of mobility, stability, and balance, you're just layering dysfunction on top of dysfunction. And that's what leads to pain, inflammation, setbacks, and no new muscle growth, which can lead to frustration. So in this video, I'm going to break down how all of these pieces connect, how to train the right way for our age, and how to fix the foundation that allows you to build muscle faster, stay injury-free, and keep your body performing at a high level for years to come. Before we dive in though, let me explain why this matters to me so much. I've been training since 1987, and I started coaching men in the early 90s after studying exercise science in college. But back then, everything that was taught was generalized. There was no specialist training for aging men. So I kept following the same programs I wrote for myself in my 20s and 30s, the same volume, same frequency, same intensity. And for a while, it worked until it didn't. Once I started to get into my 40s, my body stopped responding. My joints started aching, my recovery slowed down, and I began to feel completely burned out. But I wasn't ready to throw it all away just yet. 40 was way too young, man, to give up the body I had wanted and the body I knew I could still have. So I went back to what I had studied earlier, the physiology of how our bodies actually change as we get older. I then started applying reasoning around recovery systems, hormonal shifts, mobility, and natural joint wear and tear. And then I built my workouts around that. And that's when everything turned around. I started building muscle again. My strength skyrocketed. My energy came back. My joints felt better than they had in over a decade. Those small but crucial adjustments completely changed the way I train, and they changed the way I coach men even today. Now, before you think about how much weight you're lifting, you've got to think about how well your body is moving. Most men want to skip right into the strength and hypertrophy work, the heavy stuff. But if your mobility is limited, if your joints are unstable, or if you've got muscular imbalances from years of sitting or training the same way, that's where the problems start. A tight muscle on one side overstretches another side. A weak stabilizer forces a stronger muscle to take over. And when that happens, your body starts to compensate. The strong side does more of the work. The weak side eventually breaks down, and you end up with inflamed joints, nagging injuries, and constant setbacks. That's why everything I teach today starts with mobility and stability. Improving your range of motion, your balance, and your control fixes those imbalances and gets your joints working the way they're supposed to work. Once that foundation is solid, then you can safely push into the heavier work, the muscle building and strength phases without your body breaking down. That's also why I love unilateral training. Single leg, single arm work, like split squats instead of barbell squats. Dumbbell bench presses instead of barbell bench presses. This forces each side to pull its own weight and exposes any weaknesses, and you can actually fix those when you find out where they are. And the stronger and more stable you get at those movements, the more powerful your lifts become later on. Now, once the foundation is built, then we move into how your body actually produces energy. That's also crucial. Every rep, every set, every movement your body does runs off one of three energy systems. The ATP PC system, that's your short burst power. Heavy lifts, sprints, explosive work. Then you got the glycolytic system. That's your moderate intensity work, 30 to 90 seconds of sustained effort. Most of your resistance training lives in this space. And the oxidative system, that's your longer, lower intensity energy, jogging, cycling, recovery cardio. Now, here's the problem. Most men only train one or two of these systems, and they burn out. When one system is overused, it throws the others out of balance. Your recovery slows down, your hormones get thrown off, and you start feeling more fatigued than you do strong. That's why your training has to target all three energy systems. Your heavy, low rep work develops power to ATP system. Your moderate time under tension work trains your glycolytic system for muscle endurance, and your active recovery sessions, walks, mobility walks, light cardio, jogging, those keep your oxidative system strong so recovery stays efficient. When these three systems are in sync, your body runs like a machine. It's powerful, efficient, and capable of training hard without breaking down. But none of that matters if you're not recovering properly. So let's talk about that next. Recovery isn't just about taking a day off. Recovery is a system, just like training is. Every time you work out, you're creating controlled stress. Your results come from how your body adapts to that stress. If you don't allow for recovery, you're not adapting, you're just accumulating fatigue. And when fatigue piles up, cortisol stays high. When cortisol stays high, testosterone drops. And when that happens, strength, energy, and motivation all start to slide. That's exactly why so many guys in their 50s and 60s can't seem to gain muscle or lose fat, even though they're showing up to the gym. They're constantly working in the gym, but their bodies never had a chance to build muscle because of the lack of recovery outside of the gym. Recovery is where growth happens. Sleep, nutrition, hydration, and stress management. Those are your real anabolic tools. When recovery improves, testosterone and growth hormone, they also go up. Your inflammation drops, your joints start to feel better again, and you finally start seeing the results of all your hard work. Now let's bring it full circle. Mobility, stability, build your foundation. Energy systems power your performance. Recovery and hormones allow your body to adapt and grow. When you structure your training the right way, all of these systems feed into each other. They don't compete, they complement each other. Here's a simple breakdown I typically recommend. Start with your foundation phase. Focus on movement quality. Fix imbalances, restore range of motion, improve joint stability, and reignite weak or inactive muscles. This is where you reteach your body to move efficiently, so everything else you do actually works better. Then move into your strength and hypertrophy phases. This is where you apply progressive overload, you train your energy systems, and start layering in controlled intensity. Alternate between heavier, lower rep strength work and moderate time under tension hypertrophy training. You're not just building muscle, you're improving your body's ability to produce and sustain energy more efficiently. And finally, building a recovery phase. Plan it and prioritize it. Program active recovery days, manage your stress, and make sleep a non-negotiable part of your training plan. That's how you keep your testosterone, your growth hormone, and your nervous system firing the way they should be firing. That's the synergy. Mobility, strength, energy, and recovery all working together. That's how you build a body that's not just strong, but it's sustainable. When everything's connected, you don't have to train harder. You just have to train smarter. And when you train smarter, your results don't just add up, they compound. All right, guys, if all of this sounds complicated or overwhelming, I get it. It is more complex than it used to be. But that's because your body has changed, man. And that's exactly why you need a clear blueprint to follow. You can't just bounce from one random workout to another, because most of those programs don't apply any of these principles. They ignore the foundation. They ignore proper recovery. They ignore hormones at our age, and that's why so many older men stay stuck. So listen, if you're tired of trying to figure it all out on your own, if you're frustrated and ready to finally see consistent progress, I want to help. I've got a coaching program called my Alpha Maker Project. It's my one-on-one men's coaching program. I've been running it for more than 6 years now, and it's helped over 2,000 men just like you, men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even up into their 80s, build muscle, burn fat, regain energy, and feel confident again. It's built specifically for men like us, men with families, busy schedules, and real-life stresses. So if that sounds like something you love to be a part of, click the link in the description below. That link will take you to the Alpha Maker Project page. Read through it, fill out the short application, and if we're a good fit, I'll personally reach out and connect with you. Let's rebuild your body the right way and make sure you're performing, feeling, and living your absolute best life. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.